Good afternoon, everyone. Meteorologist Andrew Wilson here with our weekly weather update. It has been a bit of a damp afternoon for some, and we've also had a little bit of snow flurries occurring for others, with even a few sleet pellets mixed in some spots. So we're going to talk all about that here as we do our weekly weather update. If you're just now joining us and maybe this is the first time that you've tuned into one of these, we like to do a weekly weather update every single Wednesday at 2:30 p.m. and every single Sunday at 11 a.m. And so with these updates, we just like to kind of keep everybody updated on what they can expect as we head throughout the next week and then into the weekend. So let's start off with what's going on right now. Again, this is 2:30 on Wednesday. Notice that it is kind of gloomy outside. Not even all the moisture is reaching it to the ground in many spots. You saw that the radar was pretty lit up with activity right now. But it's really not that damp out there as you look out towards Midtown Atlanta. Taking a look out towards the airport, you see that the runways, they're fairly dry. Again, there's going to be some moisture making it down to the surface in spots, but it really isn't that much of a soaker. Looking at temperatures, you see that we are above freezing down at the surface by a few degrees, even up to 39 in Dalton. That's pretty much the coldest spot. 48 in Athens, 40 in Blairsville, 42 in Canton. You can still have some snowflakes even when the temperature is that warm at the surface, but it's going to melt the second it gets down to the ground. So we're not going to have any accumulation really from those flurries other than the high elevations of the North Georgia mountains, maybe up by Brasstown Bald, maybe some light accumulations. But once you're down in those valleys and then down into, especially down to the Atlanta area, nothing is going to happen there. Notice that the temperatures, they've been kind of around average over the last couple of days. We were on a stretch where we were above average there around Christmas and into the end of the year, but now we've kind of leveled off being closer to around average. Temperatures for today, again, they are going to be in the 40s. That is well above freezing. That is below average, though. When you look out on the radar, they had a little bit of snow there in far northern Alabama earlier on today. Here into far north Georgia, you'll notice that at the very end of the radar loop, I'm going to go ahead and freeze it at the very end here. You're going to notice that we do have, again, those higher elevations, maybe up towards Blue Ridge, maybe up towards the Gilmer, Fannin County area, maybe seeing a little bit of flurries, and that's about it. Everybody else just going to be plain old rain or maybe even some sleet pellets that are mixing in. Not enough sleet to cause any road issues. That's important to know because a lot of sleet can cause a lot of road troubles, but we are not expecting that again. If you're just now joining us, this is Wednesday at 2:30. Some people like to watch these live, but you may be watching this update a little bit later on. But a lot of the forecast information is going to be relevant. We have a very active week ahead of us because this is not going to be the only system tracking across the United States that has an impact on North Georgia this week. You see that area of low pressure again moving off to the northeast here. That's what's been bringing us that little bit of light shower activity and a few flurries into far north Georgia. For the next few hours, you notice that we are going to have that still lingering on. Temperatures still well above freezing, even above freezing by the time we get to 8, 9 o'clock tonight. A lot of cloud cover out there right now. It is 45 degrees in Atlanta. Now, don't forget you can download the 11 Alive app. It can be a really useful tool on days like today, giving you live looks at the radar. You can check out the hourly forecast, the daily forecast, your current conditions, and then, of course, send in your weather wow moments or watch weather updates like the one you're seeing right now, or watch newscasts right there from your phone, including also checking out those news stories that you may have missed or you wanted to learn more about. You can find that down there at the home screen and find all sorts of information right there on the 11 Alive app. You can also download the 11 Alive Plus app. Let me actually bounce it back here real quick just to show you that. The 11 Alive Plus app can be found on your Roku and Fire TV devices. It can give you extra information than what you just get on TV. You know, we can only put so much information on TV. We only have so much time. But if you go to the 11 Alive Plus app, you can get long-form weather updates, long-form news updates on those news stories that you may have a little more interest in. Now, as we head throughout the next 48 hours here, here's how it is expected to pan out. Forecast track trying to show that the moisture is really not holding on here. Again, it's not making it down to the surface in a lot of these areas, so that's probably what Forecast Track is trying to pick up on, this one weather model. Moving into tonight, a lot of that moisture moves out, and by 9 o'clock, I think it's really going to be out of here, and we're going to be left with drier conditions in the overnight hours and into tomorrow morning. Looking at Thursday at 6:30 a.m., temperatures are going to be down into the lower 30s. Look at those winds out of the northeast, really blowing in, bringing in that cooler air mass. We are going to stay cool for tomorrow afternoon. Temperatures only rebounding into the 40s and 50s, but at least it will be a mostly sunny sky. Then we move into Friday. Look at what's happened with the winds. They're now coming more out of the south here. They've kind of switched directions on us, and that's going to bring in a little bit more moisture and some slightly warmer conditions as we head into the end of the week. There's the cloud cover building back in. When you get more moisture in the atmosphere, you get more clouds. You tend to get more clouds. And then that's all coming in ahead of our next big system, which is actually going to be coming in on Saturday. Take a look at the rain chances here. Of course, they are going to be higher for today, not as high as 70%, but we do have some rain chances in today. And then for Thursday and Friday, going to be drier. Looking at Saturday, that's our 70% chance for scattered showers. And then Sunday and Monday going to be dry again before another big system moves in on Tuesday. So how's this all shaping up? Well, looking at the upper levels of the atmosphere, you can see the first system that's passing through today. Look at this big dip. What you're looking at here is the jet stream. And if I were to draw kind of a curvy line on it, you're going to notice that we have this big ridge over here, a trough over Mississippi, and then stretching up into the East Coast, there's a little bit of a ridge there too. And my line closed in on me, but you kind of got the gist of things. We have a big ridge to a trough to a ridge pattern that's going on here across the United States. So that's going to be warmer air that they have out west. And then we have the cooler air that's set up over the kind of southeastern portion of the region, and then the far east coast. They have a little bit of a warmer trend there too. But watch what happens as we head throughout the next couple of days here. That trough shifts off to the east. We get a ridge over us, so we'll get a brief rebound in temperatures. And then here comes our next big system. Look at that big dip over the central portion of the United States. That is going to be our next big rain chance that moves in on Saturday. This is Friday by 11 p.m. On Saturday, it passes over us, bringing us that increased chance for rain. We'll get another break on Monday and on Sunday and Monday. And then on Tuesday, another big system, which I think may end up being the biggest system of the week, bringing us a ton of rainfall over the next 7 days. With multiple systems over the next 7 days, that gives us a good amount of rain in the rain gauge. Wait till you see how much we're expecting as we head throughout the next 7 days. Let's take a look at Forecast Track, though, to give us an idea on what it could look like out there as far as radar is concerned. First of all, we have today. Again, a few flurries into far north Georgia. That's it. This system really not as robust as what we're expecting for Saturday and then again on Tuesday. For Friday, by 10:30 p.m., starting to see a little bit of shower activity trying to push in. It's really going to be overnight Friday into Saturday, and then you see Saturday, a lot of really wet conditions there as this more robust system passes over the eastern half of the United States. And then I think, again, the more even robust system than that on Saturday is going to be coming in on Tuesday. Take a look at the stretch here from Monday into Tuesday. This is Tuesday at midnight, so when you're overnight Monday into Tuesday, and you can see how big this system is moving across the central portion of the United States. A lot of moisture building in over the Atlanta area. On the front end of this system, it's not looking like any snow activity, but on the back end, we may get a few flurries in there. Nothing too concerning there, but looking at Tuesday night into Wednesday, maybe a few flurries into far north Georgia. Another one of those situations where Atlanta would likely miss out, but far north Georgia may get a few flurries there for Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. This system's still way out. Models flip back and forth. You know, this could very much change. Be sure to stay in tune with 11 Alive as we continue to keep a close eye on that one, because again, it could bring us a good amount of rain, and we want to make sure that you're ready for that system that could move in for next Tuesday. So how much rain could we get over the next 7 days? We're talking about a significant amount. We finished up 2023 way behind average on rainfall, but we may be starting off 2024 pretty wet here. We could get anywhere from about 2 to maybe up to 5 inches of rain over the next 7 days. And again, that's because we have multiple chances. We have today, we have again on Saturday, and then on Tuesday. I think Tuesday could be the wettest day of all of them. But all of that rainfall is going to accumulate and help us improve this map. As we headed throughout the Christmas Day holiday, we had a good amount of rainfall in there. And our last drought monitor update that came in this past Thursday showed that we had the extreme drought really trimmed back here in far northwest Georgia. Now only portions of Floyd County under extreme drought. We saw the severe drought trim back, the moderate drought trim back, and we may even see it trim back even more as we head throughout may take 2 weeks for it to show up on the map, again, just because it only shows every Thursday. It only updates every Thursday, excuse me. May take about 2 weeks for it to really show up, but we could see a significant amount of improvement in our drought conditions. Of course, we're in the drought because of how dry it was there throughout 2023, especially for the end of the year. Taking a look at last January, we picked up more than 7 inches of rainfall. That was our wettest month of the year, and you see that that's typically one of our wetter months. You see for the month of January, July ends up on average being the wettest month, but January, not too far behind there. So it is normal for us to have a lot of rain in January, not 7 inches, but like what we're going to have this next week, a good amount of rainfall. That's not too out of the norm. We then had a really dry end to the month. You notice September, October, November, December, all behind, and we finished up the year more than 9 inches behind where we should be. So taking a look at your 7-day outlook, notice as we head throughout the next week, again, we have 3 good chances for rain in there. We have Wednesday, for today rather, Saturday, a 70% chance in, and then another 70% chance in on Tuesday. Highs should be in the mid-80s, or excuse me, mid-50s this time of year. Mid-80s would be definitely too warm. Mid-50s this time of year. And you can see we're kind of flirting around that area all throughout the week. A few days, a few degrees above, a few degrees below, but pretty normal on the temperatures throughout this next week. Looking at your 8 to 14-day outlook, it looks like we will continue that trend of temperatures being right around where they should be, and maybe some above average rainfall. So that's looking at your forecast beyond the next 7 days. It looks like we're going to have some pretty good chances for rain in there, and that's good to see because we could use the rainfall. Looking at your Peach State outlook, showing us that as we head throughout the next 3 days, we are going to be dry there for Thursday and Friday, but rain chances will increase again by the time we head into Saturday. So again, those rain chances will pick up again as we head into the weekend. Unfortunately, I know that's not when people like to see those rain chances, but that does look like it will be the case as we head into Saturday this week. And then we move into your weekend getaways forecast. If you're planning any big trips, know that we are going to have some shower activity possible for Saturday and Sunday across many of those spots that people like to take trips to here across the southeast, and that could impact some of your weekend plans. But notice Friday and Monday going to be drier for both of those time periods, and maybe you want to plan a trip somewhere there and add that extra day for Friday and or Monday. Your Georgia State Park forecast, if you're doing any hikes tomorrow, a lot of people trying to get those New Year's resolutions going, a lot of sunshine, fairly cool, cold in the mornings. Make sure you bundle up if you're going to be out there on the trail early on. So I want to bring back up the 7-day forecast. I hope that everybody has a wonderful week ahead of them. Of course, you can catch our newscast every morning with meteorologist Tessa McNeil, every afternoon with meteorologist Melissa Nord at 4 o'clock, and then chief meteorologist Chris Holcomb coming in every evening from 5 through 6:30, and then even for the late night shows there from 10:30 all the way through our 11 o'clock show. And then, of course, you can catch myself and meteorologist Nicole Hartford in on the weekends. I hope everybody has a wonderful week ahead of them. We'll keep you updated on everything right here at 11 Alive.